Hey, I almost forgot. I ordered Swiss on my burger.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times Troy Bolton was the worst.
Gabriella is not important. I'll forget about her, I'll forget the audition, and we'll go out and get that championship.
Her mom makes the best brownies in the entire world.
Yeah, I know. I've had them.
So what are you gonna do if Juilliard says yes?
I don't know.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
For this list, we're looking at Troy Bolton's questionable moments across all three High School Musical movies. So if you haven't seen all three, this is your spoiler alert. Do you love Troy or hate him? Make sure to let us know in the comments. If you like what you're hearing, be sure to check out the full song at the link below. Number 10. He was late for the audition. High School Musical.
Any last-minute sign-ups?
Okay, we know that this was because he had to sneak out and make sure no one would see him, but hear us out. Ms. Darbus specifically said that timeliness means something in the world of theater.
The individual auditions are long over, and there are simply no other pairs.
I'll sing with her.
And she was clearly ready to move on with her day. Can't blame her. Running auditions for a high school play looks stressful. In any other situation, arriving late would mean you've missed your opportunity. If Kelsey never tripped over, Troy would probably learn his lesson about being late to an audition.
It's hard to believe that I couldn't see. You were always there beside me.
Of course, if that happened, there would be no High School Musical to begin with. But that doesn't mean Troy didn't almost blow Gabriella's chance.
Bolton, Montez, you have a callback.
Number 9. Almost ditching Gabriella during karaoke. High School Musical.
Living in my own world. Didn't understand.
Speaking of, Troy wasn't exactly impressed with Gabriella when they were on the karaoke stage at the party. Look, buddy, she's in the same position as you. Give her a minute to get comfortable on stage. He was ready to ditch her and leave her out there, even though it wasn't even her verse yet. The karaoke screen clearly showed who sings what part. So why was he so ready to ditch her? Of course, the minute she started to sing, the sparks were flying between them.
This could be the start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you.
We'll ignore Troy's fashion during this scene because, honestly, that shirt wasn't his finest choice.
Now who'd have ever thought that? Both be here tonight.
Number 8. When he said Gabriella meant nothing to him. High School Musical.
Alright, the singing thing is nothing. Probably just a way to keep my nerves down. I don't know, it means nothing to me.
Okay, so Troy's friends should have really backed off and let him find his other passions.
Do you really think that's gonna work?
It's the only way to save Troy and Gabriella from themselves.
But Troy should also stand his ground and not say that singing meant nothing to him, because that also meant that Gabriella meant nothing to him. Saying that she's not important was wrong, and it clearly hurt Gabriella's feelings.
Gabriella is not important. I'll forget about her, I'll forget the audition, and we'll go out and get that championship.
It's totally understandable why she was so upset, considering Troy proved that their social circles are too different to be seen together. Taylor kind of had a point when she called him a lunkhead basketball man.
From lowly Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon to early warriors, medieval knights, all leading up to lunkhead basketball man.
He could honestly convince his friends without being so mean. Number 7. The Way He Treated Sharpay. High School Musical franchise.
Are you a member here?
Over the years, many people realized Sharpay wasn't actually that bad. She was really passionate about theater, but of course, every movie needs its villain. Sure, she was extra, but that's what made her so fabulous. But across all 3 movies, Troy pretty much mocked Sharpay, even though the two were the most popular people of their school.
I hope you can watch me in the musical. Promise? Toodles!
Sure, it didn't help that everyone else did the same too. High School Musical fans also joked that when Troy and Gabriella first met, it was the moment Sharpay's high school theater career started to fall apart.
Oh, were you going to sign up too?
Sharpay worked hard on her performances and never received any credit whatsoever.
You are the music in me.
Justice for Sharpay Evans.
Need some air.
Number 6. Bros Before High School Musical franchise. You know the rule. Troy and Chad were considered to be best friends, but the two really went their separate ways throughout all 3 movies.
We have been like brothers since preschool. If I don't know who you are these days, then who does?
Sure, there were moments when they were together, but Troy was preoccupied with his new love. It always happens, doesn't it?
But suddenly the girl and the singing.
Your friend meets someone and suddenly forgets all about your friendship.
Maybe I don't see my life as a ball game anymore, man.
It took 3 movies before the two had their moment in The Boys Are Back.
You can tell by the noise and the boys are back again. Together making history.
But that quickly ended when Troy chose a different school, ruining the boys' plan of staying together. Honestly, Troy and Chad were the underrated pair that deserved a much better storyline.
So what are you gonna do if Juilliard says yes?
I don't know.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Number 5. Popular guy in school privilege. High School Musical franchise.
Troy Bolton. Where is your sports posse or whatever it's called?
Team.
If teenage movies taught us anything, it's that popular people in schools always get special privileges. Since Troy was pretty much a celebrity at his school, he was able to get away with plenty of things. This is, of course, demonstrated across all 3 movies when, despite making questionable choices most of the time, Troy is quickly forgiven. Would he be able to get a second chance at that audition, be invited to Sharpay's country club, and have so many friends if he wasn't a popular basketball player with singing potential?
We'll lock up your scholarship with a high C right from center stage.
Probably not. But once again, there would be no High School Musical without that plot, would there? Number 4. Jealousy when Ryan hung out with Gabriella. High School Musical 2.
How did you do that swing step you did last night?
That's easy.
Hey.
Hey.
When Gabriella dared to hang out with any other male specimen besides Troy, the love of her life simply couldn't handle it. And he made that very clear in the second movie when she became friends with Ryan.
So, I called last night. I got, hung up at the gym.
Hey, my dad says you're doing great with those college guys.
Of course, Troy never particularly paid attention to Ryan considering he was Sharpay's brother. But in the second movie, Ryan made it very clear he wants to fit in more with the Wildcats gang.
Looking good.
Wow, Wildcat.
Too much?
Only in daylight.
Gabriella seemed to have understood what it feels like to not really belong, and the two became friends. Enter a very sassy Troy, who didn't appreciate this new friendship.
But the dessert afterwards had to be the best part. Her mom makes the best brownies in the entire world.
Yeah, I know. I've had them.
Number 3. He's the reason Gabriella wanted to break up with him. High School Musical 2.
Hey, what do you mean you're done here? I mean, you can't quit.
Us working together sounded good, but plans change and people change.
Troy's identity crisis was highlighted across all 3 movies in different ways, but in the second movie, his behavior had a huge consequence. As Troy spent more time with Sharpay, he ended up wanting to avoid Gabriella, to the point of even skipping a date. Now that's just simply unacceptable.
Hey, I'm still me.
Blowing off your friends, missing dates, if that's you, it's good to know.
He completely abandoned his relationship with his girlfriend, which is why the two broke up. And thanks to that, we got the iconic Gotta Go My Own Way song.
But at least for now, I gotta go my own way.
Troy being overly jealous and overly ignorant at the same time was just too much for poor Gabs. Understandable. Of course, the two later made up, but Troy was totally in the wrong here.
There's more to life when we listen to our heart.
Number 2. The way he treated his friends in the second movie, High School Musical 2.
You forgot, didn't you?
No, I just got the date mixed up. And I'm sorry I couldn't make lunch today. It's been wild.
Speaking of being in the wrong, the Wildcats gang are known for all being in it together.
So what's your point?
Troy didn't only abandon Gabriella in High School Musical 2, he abandoned all his friends too.
But yesterday you said we were gonna play 2-on-2 after work before the baseball game.
I know, ma'am. I'm sorry.
And that was after he made sure they could all come to Lava Springs with him and work at the residence.
It would seem your lunch break does not start for 3.5 minutes.
They weren't happy. Their boss made their life more difficult, making them feel like they were wasting their summer, all while Troy Bolton hung out with Sharpay and her family.
Hey, I almost forgot. I ordered Swiss on my burger.
Tension was running high that summer, and honestly, it was totally understandable.
We didn't vote you captain because of your jump shot. Okay, we did it because you're the guy who usually knows what's up. But I guess things change.
Troy had to get his head out of the clouds to realize no one was really enjoying their time there.
You think you got me all figured out? Well, I don't think so. And I don't answer to you.
Then maybe you should start answering yourself.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. He used Sharpay to have a better future and then bailed on her. High School Musical 2. Troy's biggest crime in all 3 movies was when he pretty much sucked up to Sharpay because he realized she could lead him to have a better future.
Daddy's on the board of directors at the University of Albuquerque.
Of course, Sharpay wanted that for Troy too, but the problem with that was he treated her badly before and basically mocked her up until that point. Sharpay let him meet all these important people and hyped him up, and he practically pretended to have fun just so he could network.
Well, was that right?
His friendships and relationships suffered because of that, but what was even worse is that he just bailed on Sharpay after.
What do you mean you're not doing the show?
Exactly that.
We're singing a duet, Troy. A duet means 2 people.
We'll say it again. Justice for Sharpay. Do you agree with our picks? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you're a fan of the song playing right now, be sure to check out the music video for it right here.